Also, the United States Journal of American Medical Association states that 90 to 97% of heart problems that they could have been avoided if there was a meat-free diet. This was 40 years ago. What would be the situation now? The National Cancer Association in America, they stated that intakes of red meat and processed meat has caused an increase in total mortality, in cancer-related mortality, and also cardiovascular diseases mortality. What to speak of all the antibiotics and different chemicals which are taken by the animals and then we have to take. Another factor is that when the animal is killed, then the animal's adrenaline is pumping. And a lot of fear hormones are also pumping and also manifest in that animal. When we buy that nice red meat from the shop, we're not only buying the chemicals which have made that meat look so nice and red, but also those hormones, fear hormones, they're released when one cooks the meat. And when you eat it, it causes anxiety, it causes stress, it causes fear, and it causes aggression. These are all byproducts of eating meat. And now, we look at the economic situation in the world today. All over the world, you have economic recessions. But how economically viable is it to eat meat? The Office of Agriculture in America states that 90% of the grains which are grown in America are used for livestock. 90%. That amount of grain could feed all the humans in India and China put together. And how economical is it taking care of the cows in the land? States that for 300 kilos of meat that is produced, you could produce 3,000 kilos of corn or 20,000 kilos of potatoes. So which one is more economical? A vegetarian diet, vegetarian farming, or cattle farming? Now we come to a very important aspect, and that is the ecological. It's stated that in America, 500,000 animals are killed every hour. 500,000 every hour. Now you think, what is going to be the situation in America with the waste products of these animals going into the rivers, into the seas? The topsoil of America states that 75% of the topsoil in America has already been used. And of that 75%, 80% has been used for animal farming. So if we want to live in a society which is ecologically friendly, which is harmonious, then does it make sense to create such disharmony for the sake of a very minute part of the body, the tongue? And that's not enough. To survive, we need oxygen. Where does our oxygen come from? The main source of oxygen on the whole planet are the rainforests in Brazil, the Amazon rainforests. Stated that 40 years ago, those rainforests, they covered a vast area of 17 million square kilometers. And today, they're less than 8 million kilometers. Now, instead of very lush forests, we have deserts, parched lands, and also the different species of birds, animals, they're also going extinct just to satisfy our greed. 45% of the grain produced in the world is used to feed animals. Speaking of greed, says that Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, that they import 200 million pounds of meat per year into the United States. Is it necessary to consume so much meat? But in those same countries, the average person consumes as much meat as a little tabby cat consumes in a US household. Just see the disproportionate numbers. So, Vedic culture, it teaches that we should live in the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness means that also the foods that we eat should be in the mode of goodness. First, I'll describe foods in the mode of ignorance, the lower mode. Foods in the mode of ignorance are meat products, foods which are decayed, which have been cooked and left for hours. Foods in the mode of passion are foods which are Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Hey, Shanti, 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 Shanti. Foods in the mode of passion. Okay, give them some camera action. Okay, hey. Okay, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Okay, so foods in the mode of passion are foods which are very, very spicy, overly spicy and pungent. And foods in the mode of goodness, milk products, grains, vegetables, which are not overly spicy. When one takes such foodstuffs, then it elevates one's consciousness to the mode of goodness naturally. Because these foods go into one's system and they affect one's very being. But the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, as I said before, we do not take just vegetarian foodstuffs, but we are Krishnatarians. We take foods which have been offered to Krishna with love and devotion. And there's a big difference. There's a difference in taste, and there's a difference in how you feel. Only you can do the experiment and have the experience, and then you'll understand. And by taking these vegetarian foods, or Krishna foods, then you'll feel a complete difference in your life. That this is also a most important part of the yoga process. The yoga of eating. The yoga of eating, the yoga of loving, and the yoga of living. So we say that yes, we should live healthily. We should be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And we should also let our brothers and our sisters in the animal kingdom, the bird kingdom, that we should also let them live and also be healthy and wealthy in their environment and also happy. Thank you.